that league. What does AP say? This I see is 45 minutes ago, he's still on. I do see Biden is out trending. Oh, wow. Okay, we're gonna Joe Biden. My fellow Americans, over the past 3.5 years, we have made a great progress as a nation. Today, America has the strongest economy in the world, made historic investments for building our nation and lowering prescription drug costs for seniors and expanding affordable health care. Need. Okay, all this conversation. I know none of this could have been done without you. Together, blah, blah, blah. It's been my greatest honor to serve as president. And while it has been my intention to seek re-election, I believe it is in the best interest of my party in the country for me to stand down and to focus solely on fulfilling my duties as president for the remainder of my term. I will speak to the nation later this week in a more detail about my decision. For now, let me express my deepest gratitude to all those who have worked so hard to see me reelected. I want to thank Vice President Kamala Harris for being an extraordinary partner in all this work. And let me express my heartfelt appreciation for the American people for the faith and trust you have placed in me. I believe today that what I always have, that there is nothing America can't do. And when we do it together, we just have to remember that we are the United States of America. Wow. So that's really interesting because I had heard a lot of talk. Sorry, I took it down. You're right. I'd heard talk that Joe Biden was going to step down from the race this weekend. So interesting that it happened. It happened on the live stream. Now I'm curious what this is going to have, what impact this might have on the crypto markets. It might already be baked in. I mean, this happened like 15 minutes ago. I don't think we're really seeing much of a change. I don't think it's really impacted anything. If we look here, I mean, we're pretty much where we were. Just a little under 77,000, Ethereum just under 3,500. Not much big change there, but so Define L says, who could have seen this coming? Biden, BYE. That's funny. This is the parody one, says, bro, finally. Are you kidding me? Yeah, they should probably be cutting away to, it's interesting because when I went to the news, I didn't see any news items on it, but you go onto Twitter and you get it first. That's crazy. Let me, I'm going to tweet that out because I think that's worth tweeting out. So, you know, a lot of this stuff, you might think this would move the crypto needle and it might have an impact long-term, but it's not usually news like this. And like I said, you know, the rumor had been kind of going around that he wasn't going to continue. So I think stuff like that usually gets baked in. Grupo says this should be somehow positive. Well, I'm not sure because I think most people thought that for sure that Biden was going to lose this race. I mean, the polls were looking pretty bad for him. I think he knew that. I think he knew that, and so that means that Trump would win. And Trump is at least on paper, and you never really know with Trump because he's kind of all over the place. But Trump had sort of indicated that he was pretty pro crypto, as did Ron DeSantis during his ridiculously bad campaign. I mean, really, really bad. So I don't know if it's positive for crypto because now the Democrats might put someone up that actually could beat Trump. Hard to say. I think there's a lot of wait and see what happens on this one. Grubo says Joe had tons of people on his, I think he meant on his team that hated crypto. Yeah, but a lot of the Democrats that are going to that might replace him, and now the conversation is going to be ongoing. A lot of the Democrats that replace him were also anti-crypto, so that's why I don't think it necessarily matters, because I'm really curious what the reaction here is. Ghetto Pigeons says farewell and good riddance. Ghetto Pigeons, this is an Algorand game. I actually downloaded it. I should try that out. Ed says, I actually like Ed Kresenstein. I don't always agree with him, but I think he's like pretty smart. He says, let's go Kamala. So I guess it's going to be a Kamala. I don't know. It's probably going to be Kamala, because I think a lot of the other candidates would rather have a full cycle instead of having to kind of jump in at the last minute. Biden's going to freak out once he wakes up. Just seeing like if any other interesting, this person just flat out says, I don't agree. We saw all those. Should I read all that? Says uvono.eth. I'm fascinated. This just happened like while we were live streaming. You guys know this meme? Yes, this is from my era. This is Nancy Kerrigan and Tanya Harding. Tanya Harding famously hired people to hit Nancy Kerrigan, her rival Olympic ice skater, in the knees. We saw a video of it, which was kind of unusual for that time, because a lot of times you didn't see video. Not everyone people didn't have like iPhones with video at that time. So it was at that time it was rare. Now it's like you're always going to get stuff like that. Oh, this is fascinating. Demand voter ID and paper ballots. Don't let Trump cheat. Usually it's the Republicans that are making those allegations. Interesting. Just seeing if anyone else interesting responded. Kind of doesn't look like it. So I have a guess we're going to have a Mario Nafali. How do you even find them? Oh, right here. Let's see what's going on. I want to listen to this for a little bit.
Constantly voted Democrat. I cannot imagine how people were trying to act and make us believe a candidate for the moment. He was the wrong candidate. I don't care about what polls you're talking about. This is not about the donor class. I'm actually happy that this happened in general. I just wish that people stopped apologizing for him for the last few years and instead made him do this earlier so we actually had a real shot. I mean, there are people that folks are going to talk about. They're going to talk about Hillary. That's not happening. The whole point here is a younger generation. I think they're going to talk about an open primary. If you read the letter, he did not and say it. He said, "Hey, I thank her. Thank you, Kamala, but nothing else. This is going to be an open primary. I bet you Buttigieg is already on a bunch of different places."
My brother.
One last thing, Brian. Brian, let me finish. Brian, I'm going to finish and then you're going to go. So I was going to say that ultimately Buttigieg is up there. I think Kamala's going to try, but she's an awful debater. I think we're going to see folks, there's going to be a bunch of different people that are going to come out. Gretchen Whitmer is interesting. Shapiro is interesting. Newsom, are you kidding me? He's not even popular in California, let alone the rest of the country. So I think the shame on you. Brian, go ahead.
Guys, Donald Trump just responded.
Guys, hold on, guys. Can anyone please go quiet? Who just said Donald just responded? Was that you, Brian?
Yeah, I have the statement here.
Right here. Jared, yeah, go ahead. Sorry, go ahead, Jared.
Yes.
What did
this is in the phone call. A phone call with CNN minutes after Biden announced his exit from the 2024 race. Donald Trump said, "quote He is the worst president in the history of our country. He goes down as the single worst president by far in the history of our country." While it's unclear who the Democrat nominee will be, Trump said he thinks VP Harris will be easier to defeat than Biden would have been. End quote. This is coming from CNN. He just gave a phone call with the folks at CNN saying, obviously responding to Joe Biden dropping down. But I'll say this. What's interesting is that during the rally yesterday that we were covering right here on this space, Donald Trump polled his own supporters, and most people said that they wanted Biden to be the Democrat nominee. So that's just some food for thought.
Listen, we've all known that Biden was going to drop out. Now the question is, can they bypass Kamala Harris and afford to lose the female vote and the African American vote? And the answer is no. So the obvious choice is going to be Big Mike, Michelle Obama. She's going to be the walk-in. They can't pick Gavin.
Brian, like literally not possible.
Listen to me. I understand.
Brian, it's
nonsense and speculation.
It's just like silly.
I don't know what kind of a prognosticator you are, but if you and you will upset the female voter, you will upset the African American vote because she believes that she's got less than 1% of the vote when she was a candidate. She's incredibly incompetent. She's a joke. She's
Biden dropped out too, or very early in 2016. But the point is,
no, he got kicked out. He got kicked out by his party. Because of that, doesn't make Kamala competent. She's the border more than the borders are. She's been completely incompetent at everything she does. She laughs. She speaks in word salad.
Oh, she laughs. That's a big problem.
No.
Kamala, that's not
She cackles.
All right, guys, gentlemen, we're gonna talk one at a time. The two Brians are taking over. We were talking about female voters. I want to hear from a female voter. Let's go to Tira. Tira, you go next. Go ahead.
Okay, thank you. And hi, Brian Benstock. Long time no talk. Hi.
Tira, love you.
Love you too, even though we disagree. All right, so
you got more balls than most of the guys on the stage.
Is really not correct. I know people who know her. She's a female. So can we just stop this? I don't think that Michelle Obama is going to run. She has. were to be somehow passed over, that would be an issue certainly for Black female voters and potentially for other voters, and also, of course, for Kamala Harris, who I don't think wants to be passed over. Where I disagree with him is actually what she's like as a candidate, etc. She's not a bad debater, Donish. She actually had some pretty good lines in the debates. She wasn't bad. She was actually much better than a Mike Bloomberg, for example, and actually probably slightly better than a Joe Biden in many ways. So I don't think that's really
That's a low bar.
No. What I'm saying is I don't think that's representative of what her debating skills are. She's good. Is she great? No, but she's good. Okay, she was a former prosecutor. No.
Kira, it's not her debating skills.
Brian,
It's her presidential
Brian, now let me just say one
qualifications.
thing about Joe Biden, one of his biggest failings in many ways, he was given a lot of responsibility by Obama. He gave Kamala Harris like almost nothing. Okay. He gave her the border czar appellation, which really she was given nothing to do, but he sort of said,
And she
no,
sucked at
she
it.
didn't
She
suck
sucked
at it.
at
She
it.
was not given positions in which she could shine. And that I put on Joe Biden. He could have helped. He could have helped his vice president more. He could have put her in situations where she would look good, but he did not choose to do so. So she has looked pretty bad. I do think there is another candidate that I strongly prefer, but at the end of the day, with very little name recognition, very little time, and logistical reasons, I suspect it almost has to be Kamala Harris.
I think Westmore, right, Tara?
Tira,
Westmore.
Tira,
Now, my candidate is Westmore, who
It's
I
not
think
going to
is
be
terrific.
Westmore, and I was just on stage with him last month, and he's
Yeah,
amazing. He's not
amazing. I mean, for a couple of reasons. A, because of money issues. Yes, Joe Biden can give his money to Kamala, he can give his money to the DNC, and he can give his money to some super PAC that would make commercials for someone else, but it's much easier to do Kamala. Number two, the Republican Heritage Project has basically been walking around saying, we're going to fight anybody else getting on the ballot but Joe Biden. Kamala at least is already on his ticket. Now, I don't think they're right about this. I think they're misreading the law, but they're going to bring lawsuits in every single state. And I think it's a lot harder for them to do so if it's Kamala Harris. So
Tira,
for me,
I've got a question for you.
Sure.
There's two points that may indicate that it's not going to be Kamala, and I want to hear your thoughts on this. The first was the reports coming out that Joe Biden is not going to be endorsing Kamala and he wants an open convention. The second one was there was a video, and I just remember it vaguely, coming out from AOC, who said behind closed doors that Kamala Harris does not have the backing of key Democrats. What's your thoughts about those two things?
Well, if she's talking about the progressive left wing, I'm not sure Joe Biden has much of a backing of that wing either. So I don't.
Someone get the clip for us. But she
Right.
was
No,
I watched the whole clip.
but
I watched the whole clip, and I can tell you exactly what she said. She said that the people are pushing to oust Biden. The people behind any of them are not saying they want Kamala next, that they want to have an open kind of thing or they have someone else preferred. But she did not claim, to be clear, that most Democrats aren't behind Harris. She just said a significant portion of the people that were pushing for Biden to step down were not backing Harris. That's what she said. And I think that's a minority.
So guys, just breaking breaking news.
So
yeah,
Joe Biden,
go ahead, Jared.
Joe Biden
being reported right now all over. So
yeah, what does that, guys? So what does that mean? So can you just explain if he endorsed
another
him,
death
does that essentially mean that?
There's a
go
statement,
ahead, please,
from Biden. So Biden just put out a statement saying, "quote My fellow Democrats, I have decided not to accept the nomination and to focus all my energies on my duties as president for the remainder of my term. My first decision as the party nominee in 2020 was to pick Kamala Harris as my vice president, and it's been the best decision I've made today. Today, I want to offer my full support and endorsement for Kamala Harris to be the nominee of our party this year. Democrats, it's time to come together and beat Trump. Let's do this." So
that settles it. All the other speculation is mindless.
Why would Biden put a statement out 10 minutes ago
Who cares what Biden
and not
says?
endorse her? Right. But it's just like this.
Just to be clear, also,
I think the point.
most Democrats don't like Biden. They despise Kamala.
Not true.
I think
not true.
That's not true.
His video is really lagging for some reason. Yeah, what happened to that sound? It's just going. I'm gonna try leaving and coming back to it. Oops, that's the video.
He's not the man he used to be, and they've all covered it up. The entire party, every member of Congress,
Joe Biden's family, Kamala, everybody has covered this thing up. So honestly, I don't think it matters who they put at the top of the ticket against Trump. I believe he's going to win. I think he's got a 99% chance of winning because the American people are sick of being lied to, and they know they've been lied to for years now over Biden's decline.
That is pretty wild.
And what does it mean when it comes to the race, Congresswoman? I know you didn't want to comment too much on that, but do you think Kamala Harris has a higher likelihood of winning the race compared to Joe Biden? Try and look at it objectively, and is she the best candidate considering Mr. President Biden endorsed her?
Oh, she's a terrible candidate, and I think that Donald Trump beats Kamala by a larger margin than Joe Biden. I mean, she's like addicted to laughing gas. She's incoherent sometimes when she speaks. I don't think she's very substantive. I think JD Vance is going to, well, now Donald Trump will, when he debates her, wipe the floor with her. It is going to be really telling who they put up. Now, if Democrats put up the governor of Pennsylvania, Josh Shapiro, or somebody like him, it could be a closer race. But I mean, I still believe just profoundly that Donald Trump is the man of the moment, and he's going to continue to get the wind at his back and win this thing handily.
Another question I have for you, and I know there's a few hands up, and you only have 4 minutes, so we'll go to the hands afterwards.
I got about 2 minutes left now.
2 minutes. So can you just tell us what's the process like? What people are too deep into politics? What happens next?
Technically, now that Joe Biden, the first step was that Joe Biden needed to step down. He will give, presumably, all of his the folks that are representing him at the convention, all the electoral votes, the delegation votes that he has. And there are a couple of candidates, obviously. Gretchen Whitmer won't be on the ticket. You're not going to have 2 women on the ticket. She's out. I think that Gavin Newsom would be a terrible pick. But when you look at maybe the governor.
This is really frustrating.
I think Shapiro would be a really smart bet for them. But we'll see. Now it's going to be a race for VP to see who ends up in the mix.
Danish?
Congresswoman Mace, one question for you. Do you think
Last
that
question,
this was the plan
and I
all
apologize.
along? So, yeah. It's okay. Do you think that this was the plan all along because they know that Kamala Harris would not have won an open primary?
I don't know. I'm not a big fan of conspiracy theories. It's hard to say if this was the plan all along. But I think we all sort of knew inherently that this Joe Biden just could not go on. And it's weird because what JD Vance said yesterday, the cynicism here for all the people on the left, all the Democrats that have been run for president. So how can he actually be president? And they can't answer for that. And so that's why this whole thing is going to be in disarray. It's even higher percentage now. If I were a betting man, that's where I put all of my money. So thank you guys. I apologize. I'm traveling today, and it's been crazy travel weekend, but appreciate your time today.
No, I appreciate it.
If you don't want to support liars, Congresswoman, you can come join us.
All right. Well, that's not working very well, so I think we'll cap things off. But very interesting. It's really interesting to me to see what impact this will have on crypto. Hold on. We are seeing a little bit of crash in the markets right now, which I thought was I wouldn't have seen that coming. So, but I can see why. Like I said, I think it's there might be some negative sentiment on the crypto market because I think a lot of people presumed Trump was going to beat Biden. If Biden stayed in the race, it was very likely a win for Republicans who have been coming out pro crypto. And like I said in the chat, I don't think there's any reason why Democrats have to be anti-crypto and only Republicans could be pro-crypto. I could definitely see a case to make for pro-crypto Democrats. It's supposed to be of the people, right? So I could see that case, but it hasn't been the case. It's actually been the opposite. So yeah, it'll be really interesting to see. It's always nice to jump on those Mario and the Fall spaces, who AJ apparently works for part-time too, or does some organizing for him. So I think that's pretty cool. But yeah, Biden out. That's happened live on the stream. And, I really got to give a shout out to, is it Grupo Trading? Yeah, Grupo Trading. Appreciate that. Big shout out to you for pointing that out while we were on the stream so we could cover it. I'm sort of fascinated. So it'll be interesting to see how this impacts the markets going forward, because it was pretty rough on initially. I didn't think it would. I actually thought it would be priced in. We did see some drop. It's always hard to know if that's related or not, but the timing is definitely auspicious. So pretty interesting. yeah, like I said, if you haven't hit the like or subscribe button already, I'd love it if you guys did that. Like I said, you don't have to smash it. You can just press it gently. I appreciate everyone watching today. Hope you guys are all doing well out there. If you want to see videos come out before anyone else, you can, for $1 a month, you can get videos before anyone else. Our channel memberships are, you can find that on the channel page. And if people have been liking that, it's just kind of a nice way to help grow the channel. I think YouTube likes it when people subscribe. And I just want to make it affordable for people. So it's only $1 to get videos before anyone else. Usually, it's usually either the night before or at least a couple, 3 hours before anyone else. So anyway, with that, thanks everyone. Have a good night. I will be probably glued to that Twitter space following this news with Biden dropping out. Like I said, I had heard it was probably good. There was some rumors going around that it was going to happen this weekend. It looks like that did take place. So we'll see what happens, and we'll see how that impacts the crypto markets. But otherwise, stay safe out there. I'm Frugal BC, and I will see you in the future.